1855. Frederick Miller was from New York to Milwaukee. He leases land, starts his brewery. If you're in the Milwaukee area, you should come by. Go to Miller's beer clearing dinner. It's on April the 4th, Friday, 6 to 8 o'clock. I think you had Miller last night, didn't you? You got a couple different Millers?
Mm-hmm.
Nice house.
This is a try. I had a light. Ew.
Gross.
Yeah, it's nothing but gel.
Good morning and welcome to the Miller Visitor Center, where it's always Miller time. The 11 a.m. Red Miller Light wristband tour is about to begin. For your Miller time experience, please proceed through the lobby and theater for the tour guide for today. Thank you for visiting the Miller Visitor Center, and please enjoy the tour.
How you guys doing this morning?
Good.
Lovely. I have breakfast ready. I just cooked it so you guys can grab some breakfast.
I think it's a liquid breakfast, maybe.
I mean, beer is just bread in a bottle.
Beer in a bottle.
She in there?
Take it as a go.
Oh, okay. I'll stay over here.
No quitter.
I wonder where you're going.
That's first. Wanted to give a seat.
Yeah.
Yep, here's the breakfast.
Great, thank you. Oh, okay. Can we go over here, Mother? I just want to be able to see a little bit better. Otherwise,
I was trying to avoid heads.
oh. Yeah. I'd like to be able to see.
We're going to move the meter. I'm sure you know what comes next.
Mm-hmm.
The Miller legend begins at this castle in Germany, where the young brewmaster to the royal court had resolved to take his talents and special beer to the New World. It was 1854 when Frederick J. Miller set sail for America, bound for a future that even he could not have imagined. He brought with him his skill, his ambition, and in his pocket, his own special strain of yeast. A centuries-old secret that remains carefully guarded to this day, having been handed down generation to generation. After a full year of searching his vast new country for the perfect location, Fred Miller found exactly what he was looking for right here in Milwaukee. Fine hops and barley, skilled craftsmen, and an abundance of pure, fresh water. He also found plenty of thirsty customers. So in 1855, Frederick Miller bought the Plank Road Brewery, complete with its underground caves in what would become Miller Valley. During his first year in business, he produced 300 barrels of his great beer. But it was more than just outstanding beer that set Frederick Miller apart from his peers. It was also his popular beer garden, the place where Miller Time was born. In those days, Milwaukee wasn't the only Midwestern town where beer was brewed, but it suddenly became a much more important brewing center in 1871, following the Great Chicago Fire. Milwaukee rose to the occasion, sending relief, comfort, and beer to help Chicago through its disaster. By the 1880s, Frederick's growing brewery was rolling out nearly 80,000 barrels a year. Business was booming, and in 1886, Miller opened a brand new brew house, the same historic brew house you'll be walking past today here in Miller Valley. His place in brewing history was secure, his legacy profound, and in 1888, Frederick J. Miller passed away at the age of 63. Upon his famous father's death, Ernest Miller took the brewery helm, and remarkable progress continued. In 1903, even before Henry Ford had one for cars, Miller launched its own assembly line for bottles right here in Miller Valley. That same year, the company's premium beer became known as Miller High Life. By 1918, production had reached 500,000 barrels. But the next year, progress came to a sudden stop with the advent of Prohibition. Most beer companies just disappeared, but the Miller family continued to innovate, introducing non-alcoholic beverages like lemon soda and malt syrup. And sure enough, when Prohibition was repealed in 1933, Miller quickly became more a part of the American scene than ever before. By the mid-20th century, the brewery was experiencing tremendous growth, fueled by the vision of our founder's grandson, Frederick C. Miller, the first company president to embrace the potential of a brand new advertising medium, television. The brand continued to grow, and in 1969, Miller was sold to Philip Morris. Soon, Miller created what is today the industry's biggest category, low-calorie beer. The year was 1973. The brand was Miller Lite, the most popular new beer of all time. Miller Lite proved to Americans that they didn't have to sacrifice taste for fewer calories. It also brought a healthy dose of fun to the industry. Today, Miller Lite remains what it's always been, one of the best tasting and biggest selling light beers in America. Our brewery is a vital part of Milwaukee and has been for more than a century and a half. We are proud of our community and determined to keep our founders' commitment alive. They say Frederick Miller's desire was to be more than a great brewer, leader, and innovator. They say what he really wanted was to make the whole world feel like his personal guest.
Yay! Woo!
Hey, guys, that's half our budget. I'm gonna need a little more.
Woo!
All right, how are you guys doing today?
Good.
Very good, excellent. My name is Reese. I'm gonna be your guide for the next 70 minutes or so. We are going on a 6-city block indoor and outdoor tour walking experience. Now, just so you guys are well aware, there are 46 mandatory stairs out on this tour that are just kind of like scattered here and there throughout. There are 56 optional stairs all at once if you would like to join us upstairs to see the brew house brewing in real time. Other boring housekeeping stuff to get out of the way. If you need a restroom, just past these doors here. We have one. We'll have one over at the Miller Inn about midway through the tour, should be. We ask that there's no eating, drinking, smoking, or vaping while on the tour. Of course, though, feel free to drink the samples we give you. This is a very photo-friendly tour, so if you guys want to take pictures of any of the lines, the products, the workers, me, I'll model, that's fine, take those photos. But let's just not be taking photos in the middle of the street, you guys. I would not have to say that if I hadn't seen it for myself. That's State Street, it's Sunday, I don't recommend standing in the middle of the road to take photos. We are also going on to an active factory floor. That's why they ask for like no bags and stuff. We're going next to heavy machinery as well as forklifts. I'm gonna have to pull out some safety gates. Please stay behind me as we encounter those. We also have a lot of self-locking and self-closing doors that need badges to get through. So please hold whatever doors we go through open for the person behind you. No being lost in a brewery wouldn't be that bad for you guys, but it would be for my job. So again, all right, boring stuff is out of the way. You guys are drinking Miller Lite. That was put in on Wednesday, I believe. So it should be some pretty fresh beer. How's it taste?
Good.
Good.
Very good, very good. Now, it's not the only sample that you guys will get when you're out on tour. You're going to grab another one when you go down into the caves, when you go to the Miller Inn. When we return back here to the Pearly Bar, you'll grab 2 more samples completely of your choice. Then look under your chair right now and it's not
Okay.
More samples.
Alright, we have 84 acres and about 78 buildings on our campus. We are not going through 78 buildings. We are going to go through 4 that I think you guys will enjoy. Number 1 will be that modern brew house. Now, the reason that the stairs are optional is because it is actually quite hot up there. It's a lot hotter as you ascend, and it gets quite stinky up there, almost like claustrophobically so. So just so you're aware of that. After that, we're going down into the caves, the Miller refrigeration caverns. You guys are going to grab a sample there, immediately back to back grabbing another sample when we go into the Miller Inn. I'm going to give you guys plenty of time to just walk around, check things out for yourselves, and explore. Then lastly, we're going to go to South Packaging and Distribution. You will see that fill beer in real time, then where it all gets sent out to in real time as well. So, sound good?
Yep.
Good, I hope so. You paid for it. Now, please feel free. Finish up the rest of your samples the fun way if you would like. Or there is a dump bucket right over there. That can be my roommates at the end of the week. I don't really mind.
Nice.
By that point, but you get it. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go put the walk in Milwaukee. Yeah, all the jokes are like that. So you're enjoying.
Dad jokes. I like
Go.
it.
Dad jokes is what I got here. Let's do it. Correct me if anyone else saw it, but I thought we were supposed to get rain today.
Snow.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
You're kidding.
It was supposed to be
Late?
iffy.
Later? Okay. Oh. He's like, when we're off tour, the weather will get bad. Okay. All right, that seems to be everyone. Let's get out there and make a difference today. Right this way.
Ah, look at the lady on the moon. That's cool. You see the bottle up here? Lose anybody yet? Lose anybody yet?
No, not that I see. Hopefully not.
It's highly trained walking backwards.
Indeed. I got my degree in walking backwards. Nowadays they call it communications, but it's the same thing.
Seems like a fun problem.
Can be. Can be. And y'all don't bring your kids.
No, we wouldn't.
Yeah, this is not a tour.
It is Canadian spring break right now. So the Canadians are coming down here with their kids and they're enjoying it. And like, you know, good for them. That wasn't convincing, but like, you know, good for them. Like no, they've been really nice. So yeah, kids show up when spring break and summer break like start to rear its head. Then we get like just big families.
I would bring my son here.
But he's 25.
Yeah, but he's 24, 25.
Yeah, he's old enough.
He's an adult.
Can I ask you slide away from the screen, please? Thank you. Now you guys see it's running right now, so let's give it a round of applause for our beer bridge!
Yay!
That's the eighth wonder of the world right there. 250,000 cases come across from North Packaging, there, across the sky, and into South Distribution on any good given day of production. Today looks like a good given day, as you can see a constant stream of Miller Lite coming across the bridge right now. See, if this was 1975 though, would not have mattered. It was all blocked off during its construction. And it wasn't until the 90s, by employee suggestion, that they decided to make it into the aquarium style viewing that you're seeing right there. So we can watch all of the beer fishies swim across the bridge. In the 90s, Milwaukee just got really into see-through hallways. We added one to the courthouse and to the convention center, and we got one right here. So I guess we're a bit of a trendsetter, I guess. But hey, we will see more beer coming across when we come back down this way. So keep your eyes peeled. In the meantime, we're headed towards the stables.
This is a great campus.
Yeah. A lot to memorize, though.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Are we able to do that after the tour? Are we able to walk around anywhere and
Take pictures? Outside, I would say, yeah.
The roads were on like outside. So like the straight to the road, you walk up and down 1,000 times, no one will stop you.
Okay.
It's that you won't be able to get into the buildings.
All right, I just want to make sure.
Keep going.
This way.
Oh,
Keep going.
yes.
If we walk down a road or something.
So the question, how many employees? We have about 2,000 employees that work here. 1,600 of them work in the corporate offices, and 400 are split between the two actual factory floors itself.
Wow.
So you can imagine that's quite reversed from the old days, but robots and automation is pretty much the answer to that question.
Yeah, nice.
We're gonna cross here in 1 second when the light's in my favor, or our favor.
That's a OSHA violation.
What?
He's innocent. He's innocent. I promise.
Like, whatever.
All right. If we would slide towards the window, towards the wall. She's a family-friendly pool. Don't finish Pop quiz time! Pop quiz time! What is the nickname of the city of New York?
Big Apple.
Big Apple. What about Chicago?
Windy
And what about Milwaukee?
Beer City.
Cream City. Why is it Cream City? The brick, indeed, indeed. You guys are experts. Now, across the street is a good example of this. A lot of people think that our nickname is Brew City. Brew City ends up on a lot of t-shirts, but yep, Cream City is our actual nickname, and that ends up on less t-shirts for some reason. I can't imagine why. Now, a lot of people think it's the dairy cows, but as just mentioned, yes, it is absolutely our architecture that that nickname is based on. The historic stables here, 1890, 625 draft horses used to make their homes right there. The first floor, they would have big wagons with huge kegs. They would ride around, restock local bars and taverns. You could hold out your stein and pay a quarter. They would come and fill it up for you. It was like the world's first Uber Eats. It was awesome. The floor is where they kept the horses. They walked them up via ramp because the Menominee River behind the building used to seasonally flood. And I guess they didn't want the horses to complain, so second floor was. Third floor would have been any materials you would have needed to take care of them. And in the modern day, it is a bit of a cafeteria and business meeting spot. Now, anytime you see our signature limestone cream-colored brick, it means that that building was built in the 1800s guaranteed. Anytime you see our red Chicago-style brick in this Art Deco form, that means that that building was built in the 1950s. So big historical disparities. Keep that in mind while we head towards our brew house. Something I'm going to share with you guys that I don't usually share with groups, but the building across from us right there is our aging building, the one you can see from the highway with the soft cross. It's got a very Washington Memorial style, or Washington Monument style of a history, meaning that it also has a huge gap in its construction. There was a little something called what was it called? Oh yeah, the Korean War that showed up, and that would stop production into the entirety of the construction site. Wasn't until the full conclusion of the war that they finally came back to finish the building, which is why the bricks are mismatched, which is why the colors are a little off in different places, because of its huge gap in that history.
Sorry about the wind.
Yeah. It's supposed to be horrible in the winter. You got to show it time to see.
All right, now both palms flat up against the building. I'm patting everyone down. Make sure no one took anything from the gift shop. I have my suspects. Now, what do you guys think the building across the street resembles? What does it remind you of?
A temple or a church.
The temple, church, brew house? Anyone else think it reminds you of a firehouse?
A firehouse, yeah.
Pretty straight firehouse. Sorry, guys. 1886 is when that was constructed. It was pretty big for the time at 425 barrels a day. Which is huge for that time, but not so much in the modern day. It was sort of famous that Frederick Miller would come out here on his lunch break, help lay the stones with the brick masons.
Huh.
Now that Star of David up at the top is not the Star of David. Last I checked, the Star of David doesn't have 6 points around it, each representing water, peace. And that last point represents the skill of the brewmaster themselves. That is a 14th century brewmaster sigil. Doctors like to put their degree on the walls. Frederick put his degree on the building. That is a languageless way of telling people you don't need to look like me, you don't need to speak like me, but you do need to come buy a beer from me. That's what that meant. He earned that from working in a castle in Germany under a brewmeister. That being said, he never actually got to see the first batch leave the building. He died in the year 1888 at the age of 63. The building was finished 1 month after his passing. Don't feel too bad about it though. Frederick C. Miller, his grandson, very much carried on his legacy and built the building you are leaning up against right now. This is our modern brew house, and it is where we are going next. Now guys, remember that there are going to be optional 56 stairs ahead of you. There's a bench if you want to take a seat. No judgments, that's fine. But we're going to be headed up the very hot stairwell right now. Yeah, Art Deco, man, it really did everything. Reese headed up the brew house stairs now.
We're gonna get in the corner. It's probably gonna be through there.
Alright guys, so once again, optional 56 stairs ahead of you, benches right there. If you want to take a seat, no judgments, that's fine. We're going to be up there a couple minutes. Yeah, that's great. We'll talk later.
Let me get ahead of myself.
Yeah, don't stick my script.
Yeah. Smells like horses. do you think that room is over there?
All right, everybody. Well done. You have completed the Molson Coors Fitness Challenge. Nice job, everybody. Welcome here to our modern brew house. I'll ask if you guys want to slide down a little bit. You'll be able to see a lot more on this side of the brew kettles. So we are here in our modern brew house. Now, the first thing I will point out, we have 590 BBL on the side of that brew kettle right there. BBL stands for beer barrel. One beer barrel is the equivalent to 31 actual gallons. So 31 times 590, but we have 6 takes going back. That is a lot of math. I'm not doing that. Consider though, huge amount of beer that we can do. We are the largest brewery in the United States in terms of volume by far. Now, a big testament to that is the grain that we get in gallons loads and train loads from Golden, Colorado. Over here in Golden, Colorado, that is where we get our malted barley. This is what malted barley kind of looks like. It's barley that's been steeped in water, meaning it's overhydrated. Then it's germinated when flower opens up, tricked into thinking it's spring. And then it's kilned, or essentially roasted. And the longer you roast the barley, naturally the darker the beer will end up being. We send the barley up to our 6th floor above us. It is going to be sent up to our hammer mill. Hammers out all of the grains, but it doesn't exactly destroy them. Changes it into grist, G-R-I-S-T, a very fine powder-like substance. Now, the grist is going to be sent into our mash tun. Now, our mash tun looks a lot like a lauter tun, except it is 2 floors above us, and it's still this copper tone right here. So when we're adding in the water, we get that water from the city of Milwaukee. And do not worry, we send it through our own purification process first. We have our own water treatment plant here on the premises. Then we add it to the tanks once it's the best quality it can be, and so that it matches the other breweries around the United States. So the consistency of quality. So the mash tun is actually what you guys are smelling right now. It's that combination of the wet grains all coming together. Makes like a warm oatmeal appearance, or southern grapes is a good way to think of its consistency. Eventually that comes down here through the water tun. Don't be fooled, it's not through the big pipe. It actually fills up this way. This is a coffee filter. It separates the liquids from the solids. Solid byproduct, it goes off to local farms of the area, sold as chicken feed and cow feed, nutrient-dense grain. But the liquid that comes off is known as Wort. W-O-R-T. It's an old German word. It means sugar water, basically. Now that Wort is coming from the water tun through a series of pipes into the brew kettle right there. I will say that it looks like the first 3 brew kettles are actually brewing in real time. As we can see, the plastic is forward, lid is down. That being said, they could be doing one other thing, and that would be internally cleaning itself out, much into like what an oven can do. Now, at this stage in the brew house process, we are going to be putting in the wort and then putting in the hops. This is what hops looks like. Give it a smell. This is plastic, but this is what hops looks like. This is what hops look like. This green little spice. Whenever you take like a whiff of beer, this is actually what you're smelling. So it is going to be going into the brew kettle, and it is brewing for 90 minutes at 400 degrees. That's actually all it takes though. And then it goes down underneath the building through a series of underground pipes. You guys right here will be able to see it. It goes to the building with the American flag right over there. That is fermentation. Yes, fermentation is where it was stinking there for about 7 to 10 days. We're adding in the yeast. The yeast converts the sugar into alcohol. We've got beer. No, it is not something we can serve to you or for us. Much like wine or whiskey or sake, you have to age alcohol in order for it to mature. So it's going to go down those exact same pipes, except this time now it's being pumped westward towards the building with the soft cross. You can see from the highway towards our quality assurance building. About 180 aging tanks that we have, where all of that beer is going to stay for about 4 to 14 days. It kind of depends on what the actual brand of the beer is though. So Miller Lite 21 days, MGD 31 days, so there's a bit of a difference there. Now, from that process, it is going into the quality checks, the last quality checks, I should say, about the 150th, before it lands itself in front of a panel of blind judges. They taste test the beer. They say, that's pretty emergency wunderbar. They send it on through to packaging and shipping, which you guys are going to see later in the tour. Any questions about the top to bottom brewing process? Nine? Excellent. Well, I am going to get you guys a reward for doing all the stairs, a beer as soon as we go down into the caves. Please follow me this way.
Your dad called. So I just shot him a text.
The song is playing commercials. Horses. We salute you. Thank you. Sorry.
I lost my hubby somewhere.
Oh, I understand. Oh, that's a pretty building. That's the Miller Inn. This one's supposed to be haunted too. The Miller Inn and the caves. So,
Try to stay at the
FYI. Really?
No,
Well, that would have been good.
it would be cool. I don't think you can.
I think you can. They do have. I think they still do. We'll have to ask. It's a good question. What do you guys think? Do you think you can stay at the Miller Inn?
I'm leaning towards no. I think it's probably in as in where you would eat or
I
drink.
don't know. I think that they actually had like rooms you could rent. It's very pricey.
So I just got done paying $400.
I know. The Rumble Inn would have been a lot cheaper, like $200. Okay, we're in the inn. Whew, pretty.
Got a clipper right there.
We're just going through. We're going to the caves first. Okay, guys, back in. The cave shut me down. All right, let me go back to resuming. I just started videotaping while I was down there.
This is the strongest beer you will get on the tour.
The strongest beer. Tea. Thank you. I like the glasses. What do you want to say?
We're holding up progress.
What do you want to sit?
This one right here.
Do you want to sit in the corner? I want to take my coat off. It is very hot in here. Phew. Thank goodness. Might have to take the shirt off too. So now we're in the Miller Inn.
In 1892, this was the Watertown Plank Road Brewery. That would be basically the tavern that the family built to replace the original Watertown Plank Road Brewery. Beautiful, fully furnished tavern at that time, so naturally it burns down. Then in 1893, we do the entirety of the tavern in 1 year. It's the same year that they add in the Bavarian style brick you guys saw on the outside, giving it its castle-like appearance. The same year they also added in a bowling alley right down Stein Hall. Remnants of those bowling alley lanes are still very much underneath the floorboards to this day. Worst part is, no boy bowling night anymore. It's very upsetting, very upsetting. Second, in German tradition, it's very important to have a beer garden as a community space. So people would have been up there in really bad weather, enjoying a beer, enjoying a dance, enjoying the golden age of the tavern. Things are going really, really well. You all know what happens next. Everyone just boo 1919.
Boo!
Yeah, Prohibition shows up. Ruins all of our fun. We are no longer allowed to be a brewery. This is no longer allowed to be a tavern. Now, there were some really hard scientific studies coming out during that era. Scientists all across the country were doing field work, and they were testing out that taverns are a lot less fun without beer in them. And with those studies coming to light, they decided that this could only be a thing for its future. We call Hanständer and Mischständer professional German innkeepers from Germany. They came and they turned upstairs into their own little personal do not enter. Down here, however, guys, the best way to put it is it was a military barracks. It was like 3 bunk beds cubicle, 3 bunk beds cubicle. It was not the height of luxury, and it was not the height of privacy. But do consider with Watertown 50 miles west of us as the nearest major town, basically, this just needed to be the Best Western for people to come on in, rest their head, and then simply keep moving along. And that's exactly what it was until about 1933. You all know what happens, everyone cheers.
Woo!
Yeah. Prohibition is repealed. We are allowed to go back to being a brewery. Instantly, we do go back to being a brewery. This space right here, though, would not go back to being a tavern. Not until Frederick C. Miller, again, would come here to expand everything. He wants to return it back to its Bavarian-style roots. So once again, we call the Germans to solve our problems. Are you sensing the pattern here?
Yeah.
And so we call them woodworkers. They put in all of the paneling that you are seeing on the walls right here, everything on the ceiling as well. They put in this fantastic bar right here. They put in mic, they put in wine, they put in all the stained glass windows. They put in all of the Steins down Stein Hall. And of course, the very safe and very secure chandelier above your head right now is something that you put up as well.
Wow.
What do you guys think though? Did you do a good job?
Yeah, nice, beautiful. Woo!
Excellent. Yes. Well, in the modern day, it is mostly used for like weddings and I don't know, quinceañeras, bar mitzvahs, whatever people want to do in here. It is a rentable space, and prices are available right here in this spot here. So, you guys, I am going to give you a couple of minutes. Walk around, check things out, ask me any questions you might have. Use the restroom should you need. But the rest of the time that we're in here, feel free to explore, and we can circle back.
Nice.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Okay.
That's a good question. Okay, so the girl in the moon. I'm sure many of you are curious about what's going on with that lady. Well, you can tell that she's designed by a man, you can just tell. But she was designed by A.C. Paul. He was an advertising director in the very early days of the company, which would have been about 1904, 1905. Highlight came out in 1906, 1907. So AC, and I mean that little lady came out on December 31st, actually, as a champagne of beer.
Oh, yeah.
Now, New Year's. But anyway, she was designed after a bit of a crisis, where he went up north to the great north woods of Wisconsin on a camping trip, a hunting trip with him and the rest of the buddies from the company. They had been having a good night. He got particularly inebriated and ended up wandering off from the party. I think he went off to like pee somewhere and ended up getting stranded. Suddenly he was like cold and hungry and tired. He was wandering around the woods. It was getting naked and afraid, like he was not having a good time. He decided that now would be the time to do the only logical thing a man could do, and that that, of course, would be to take a nap. So he went underneath an oak tree and he fell asleep. When he fell asleep, he had a miraculous dream of a woman coming down on a crescent moon holding a frothy mug up to her, am I right? And she was gesturing in one direction. Kind of no matter which way he turned in the dream, she continued to point in one direction only. When he had awoken, he decided why not, and he went in the will of the maiden, found civilization again, and accredited her with saving his life.
Wow.
That's actually how you end up on everything in our gift shop. Now, a lot of people wonder what her name is, but she must have not introduced herself when she came down home. She doesn't actually have a name. A lot of people think she's a witch because she's wearing a pointy hat appearing in people's dreams, but she's actually an equestrian rider. Much like you would see in a three-ring circus of old, back when women would do like horseback riding like that, and that's what she's representative of. Now that design right there with all the is like, that is 1950s pinup style. You can tell that's a redesign. The original design, if you want to see something a little cool, is this clock right here. It's so random that we have it, but this is a really good depiction of what she used to look like. She's been in a lot of different versions. I think of her as like Steamboat Willie the Mickey Mouse. Like she's gone through a bunch of different iterations of herself. Is that a good example?
That's a perfect example.
It's like the same. Everyone knows her. She's iconic with the same core, but. So in this version of her, like she has tights now going up her legs, no longer exposing that. Her bodice is pulled quite a few more inches up, so she's just like a little bit more conservative with how she's dressed. But she used to have a riding prop with her as well. I don't know why they kept it down.
Yeah, who would ever take that out?
But that is the story of the girl in the moon. That help? That's the legend. That's what they say. That's what they say.
Do they rent out rooms here? Is there a room or anything that's upstairs?
Not for like sleeping,
Yeah.
but it is for like venues, weddings, business meetings happen a lot. If you want to look, the book that's on the binder over there shows all the rooms that are upstairs and like prices and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool. And is it haunted?
It's quite haunted as well.
Why is it haunted?
Yeah,
Can you do
hold
that
on.
one?
All right, I wasn't going to tell you that it was haunted, but I'm going to tell you that it's haunted, and I'm going to tell you something that happened to me. Okay, listen. Last summer, I was in here with a group of about this size, actually. And I was talking to a group that wanted to know about Gisela and Gunther, who would be the cave ghosts. They have their own Romeo and Juliet story. It's honestly really depressing. Both of them end up dying in this story, and it was sad. And we were like, okay, great. So we finished the story. I hadn't told it in months, just had a lot of time to talk about it. I was like, why not? So I ended up being like, the vibe needs to change. We all get up and we head down these stairs, and as we head down the stairs, I hear behind me. Now that was dull, but it really sounded like someone took a wooden gong and banged it out 3 times next to my head. It was right here. There was not another time. And I remember thinking to myself, like, who would not when you exit a building? That doesn't make any sense. We get down to the end of the stairs, and this lady looks at me, and she's like, was that you knocking right there? And I was like, okay, stop, I know it was you. She's like, I thought that was you. We looked at each other and went raggy, and we screamed out of here. There's a lot of wooden things in this tavern. I have no idea what could have made a gong-like pitching noise, like, that reverberated in and out. It was super freaky, and a person did not make that noise.
Wow.
So, go ahead and go find it. I'm going to give you guys 1 or 2 more minutes in here. Use the restroom should you need, and we will be on the South Packaging in just a couple minutes. That story is very true, by the way.
Thank you.
I have another question for you.
Uh-oh.
So you, downstairs in the caves, that was the chute where the ice came from. So why, just as a sniper, why do you have the sign say, beer goes out this way?
Beer goes this way out in German. Yeah, beer gets diesen Weg raus. That was found as one of the authentic like signs that was just found down there when Frederick C. Miller estimated it. So all the cooper tools and stuff like that you saw, that's like real. Yeah, I told you that like Fred left. He did not make any attempt to clean anything. He just was like, He was like, oh, the building's built up here, we don't need to go back down there. So he just dumped everything. Which is why, like, beer gets Diesenweg Raus is, like, written up there. That was basically exit sign for Germans.
Bitte aussteigen.
Yeah.
Would be a little more angry.
Yeah, well, I say what I say, people get what they get, so.
Pretty cool. Yum.
What do you mean course original? Like course banquet or like?
Yeah, so I've seen like, it's like the Coors Banquet.
You want to walk around a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to leave my jacket here because it's hot in here. Ooh, my glass.
It says course.
We'll go check out the, see what the prices are.
Interesting.
Pardon me. Steven, I'm going to go over here to see what the book, isn't there a book or something?
That's what banquet is. So if there's rebranding it, it's
I thought there was a book or something. Oh. So here's that picture of the clock that we're talking about. She calls the witch. That's the original Lady on the Moon. You heard the story about why he has a lady on the moon. This goes upstairs. I thought that the inn was haunted as well. But I guess not. Here's some of their stuff.
Alright guys, we are headed down south packaging. Here's what's gonna happen. We are gonna go down there. We're gonna see some beer getting filled, and then we're gonna fill you with beer. Instructions clear? Please place your glasses on the bar. We're headed down south packaging. Please don't forget make sure you have everyone from your party. We're headed out onto the street. No knocking as we exit, okay? I'm still very traumatized. Right this way. Marissa,
I think he's really full of shit.
I know. Oh, there you are. Numb. Thank you. Packaging. We're going to packaging. Yeah. What was that?
That was the goat. Mr. Miller. I was trying to do the same thing. The window was right there.
What do you do now?
I want to get a picture of that. It's so cool. That building is... Oh, no, you're fine.
You can come back though too and walk around, they said.
Oh, I didn't realize she was going to take a photo, that's all.
So this place is kind of cool. I like the campus. I like all these buildings. They're very cool. Beer is always a plus. I think we are getting much more beer than the Anheuser-Busch
Sure.
tour.
Yeah, they get you lubricated a little bit more on this one.
Well, it's through the tour, which I like, where Busch is like at the end. Like drink up as much as you want. You got 15 minutes.
Well, I don't think there's as much as you want. I think there's still a limit on it.
No, they just said you have 15 minutes, drink as much as you want.
I don't remember.
Yeah, because I was saying,
Because it's been years.
oh yeah, I know, it's been a long time. But 'cause remember I said, oh, if you're a homeless drunk, it's a free tour. No, I'm serious, like it's a free tour, right, in St. Louis. And so if you needed your alcohol fix, free tour, you could get it at the end. You'd have to go through the whole tour. So I liked that little beer glass.
I would have liked to have gone upstairs just to check out what was up there. I think it'd be kind of cool.
I know, me too. And I didn't see the book with all the pricing on it. I wanted to do that too. I looked for it.
It was on the table
I
or on
looked-
the bar.
Oh,
So maybe we'll go back.
maybe.
And just do like a walk by ourselves.
Well, we still have to go eat sushi.
Go eat.
Sushi.
Oh, okay.
We're meeting Sue and those guys, remember? Okay, guys, what do you think? Like the tour so far?
Have anybody on there?
Yeah, 8 or 9 people. On and off. I lost everybody when we went down to the cave. But then it let me reconnect. So that's cool.
I tried to video it, but it was dark down there.
I videotaped it up on the top, so you can have copies of it or your thing. I'm sad that I missed it, but
I was on the blind old boy.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The light, phone on him. He was already looking over at me anyhow.
Yeah. Well, you probably saw me leave. I went to the top. I was still, you know, like I said, I was videoing it.
I don't want to be that guy.
I was recording it, should I say. Sorry guys, we haven't had breakfast yet, so we're just drinking our breakfast.
Somebody else was too. There's a can of mashed white right there.
Nice.
That's the short drink. Holy sport day drinking.
It's just liquid breakfast.
It's beer in a bottle.
Here in the bottom. Ooh. Scary. Maybe that's a gong sound. No. I was just checking to see if it would be a sound with a gong. Sorry guys, I kind of bounce when I walk, so you're getting a little bit of jitter. This is Miller Alley. Now we're going to packaging. South packaging.
And all the salt is just deep in the concrete.
I know. Oh hey, I got some cash. Let's see. You want to give a tip to this guy, right? When we're done?
Yeah, we can get that.
No, I have. Remember, I got cash. Hold on. It's in a pocket somewhere.
Figure it out here in a little bit.
You should always give a tip to your tour guide. Here, can you put this in your pocket? It's 10, so it's something.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. All right. I'll really be good. Thank you.
I know, right? I wanted that glass as my gift.
Watch your head, guys. Take 2 steps back away from the window.
2 steps back.
Now listen, the other half of the budget is descending from the ceiling right now. Feel free to watch this video at any point down the production's hallway here. So feel free to go on down if you'd like, or you can take a seat. We're gonna reconvene after the video.
Video.
Can we move down this way?
Yeah, we'll move down further, so. Yeah. Oh, sorry, everyone's doing that
Magic
now.
begins here in Miller Valley with the best natural ingredients.
I'm sitting.
Our world-class brewers carefully mix, monitor, and test these ingredients as they go from mash tun to lauter tun to brew kettle. Frederick Miller's famous yeast is carefully added before fermentation. Then, after aging and filtering, the beer is ready to be packaged. About 60% of it goes into cans, 30% into bottles, and about 10% into kegs. The packaging process begins with fresh, new, shrink-wrapped bottles and cans. Each one thoroughly rinsed in warm water to meet our high standards. After rinsing, it's off to the fillers. This amazing machine can fill 1,200 bottles a minute. In slow motion, you can see the empty bottles being spun into position, carefully filled, and finally crowned, with each precision task being measured in split seconds. As fast as our bottles are filled, our cans are filled even faster, in large part because we don't have to worry about breaking glass. This machine can fill up to 2,000 cans per minute. That's a case and a half of beer every second. In real time, it's almost impossible to see what's happening. But when we drop down to slow motion, you'll see the empty aluminum cans have been filled with fresh beer, sealed with high-tech lids, and are being sent on their way to the pasteurizer. The pasteurization process is important because it gives our beer an extended shelf life, enabling us to store it unrefrigerated for up to 52 weeks depending on brand, without any change in flavor or aroma. That's where our special freshness date comes in. A high-speed laser printer shoots a freshness date onto the bottom of every can, the neck of every bottle, and the side of every case. This code tells distributors and retailers when to pull the beer off the shelf to make sure our consumers always get the freshest beer. We use a 7-character code. The first 3 letters are the month, the next 2 the date, and the last 2 the year. Miller Brewing Company invented freshness coding for beer and was the first brewer to put a freshness date on all of its products, including a 9-week code on its keg beer. And speaking of kegs, ours are filled across the street in North Packaging. On a machine called the Keg-O-Matic, it fills 12 kegs at once, up to 12,000 per day. Keg beer is true draft beer, so it is not heat pasteurized, but instead stored in coolers at 34 degrees to keep it fresh. Molson Coors is also proud to be the only American brewer to offer true draft beer in cans and bottles. To produce Miller Genuine Draft and Miller 64, we use a special process called cold ceramic filtration. This process removes all impurities and results in great tasting packaged draft beer that does not need pasteurization, and that has the same shelf life as our other beers. Now it's time to label our bottles, so you know what you're drinking. These machines can apply neck and body labels to some 1,400 bottles per minute. Numerous quality inspections are performed throughout the entire brewing and packaging process. Along all of our packaging lines, laser scanners constantly check for imperfections. If any are found, the products in question are bumped off the line and sent to be recycled or repackaged. Now that the bottles and cans are all filled, sealed, big-coated, and labeled, it's time to put them in boxes, what we call secondary packaging. The last step in the packaging process occurs here at one of our 11 computerized palletizers. Here, our packages are stacked onto pallets in layers of alternating patterns for maximum stability. All pallets are stretch wrapped before being loaded onto trucks and sent off to serve our thirsty customers. It's not just great beer that distinguishes our historic Milwaukee brewery. It's also the way we run our business. We have a long history of environmental stewardship, and today, our commitment is stronger than ever as we move towards zero-waste operations. We've invested in paper and cardboard balers, as well as a can densifier, to improve the quality of our recycled byproducts and to reduce our overall landfill contribution.
All right.
Applause.
Woo!
Alright guys, now we are going to be headed down onto distribution's floor. We're headed down the hallway this way.
Next to him again. Oh, there you go. I'm live again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. Mickey. I love Mickey's. Oh, it's directed to Alaska.
It's the idiot run.
Well, now that we moved to Alaska. These are cases and cases and cases of beer. They salute the Army and the Marine Corps. So we have hams,
200,000 square feet
fizzy.
is stretched out in front of you. That's about 5 American football fields all in a row. We have 900,000 cases of our product sitting right here on our 3-tier racking system, where we have 23 loading and docking bays in the back of the warehouse, where we have 180 trucks and only trucks come to pick up those products, 2,000 cases per truckload, and then they all go off to their destined location. So if you love beer, please give this beer a very proud and chivalrous wave goodbye. Our beer, yes, all of this beer will be gone and replaced with new beer in 24 to 36 hours. That is our turnover rate.
Ooh, 36 hours, guys. In and
20%
out.
of this beer is staying right here in the great state of Wisconsin for all me and my fellow Wisconsinites.
Woo! Woo!
Yeah, exactly. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. We got Canadian examples of things that come in from foreign countries and we distribute them. Hey, right here actually, Gorosh and Molson, and I think Peroni is right behind it as well. Blue Moon, what did you think of Blue Moon? It as well. Blue Moon, what did you think of Blue Moon?
Yum.
Very good, very good. Brewed in Colorado and right here as well. Handle all of their mainstay products right here. Hams, anyone here like hams?
Yeah.
Yeah, hams make her dance. We love hams. Founded out in 1999, we still use that original recipe to this day. It's available to have on tap today, actually, at the bar. This is Total Chico. Anyone here like seltzers?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a seltzer right there. Trenton, Ohio, Golden, Colorado, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Lastly, what's Milwaukee, Wisconsin? Lastly, what's Zoa? By who? Zoa. By who? Dwayne The Rock Johnson's energy drink, indeed. That is non-alcoholic, low in sugar. It's got his tattoo on the logo. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, you know him, you know who he is, or at least aware of who that person is. So. Alright guys, unfortunately this does conclude our tour. Very sad, I know, but please feel free to drink away your feelings when we get back to the visitor center. When we get there, we're going all the way around the side of the building to put you guys directly at the bar where all the tours ship.
You're gonna show me the numbers on your wristband. I'm gonna mark them off, and you'll get 2 samples completely of your choice. Feel free to grab a sample, head into the gift shop. You'll make good financial decisions that way. And you will also get, head into the gift shop. You'll make good financial decisions that way. And you will also get a souvenir that comes with your tour as well at the desk there. If you've enjoyed.
Whatever that comes up.
Yeah. Are you talking about like rope? Oh, the fluids? It gets all just kind of like swept with the. Okay, so you know how it smelled like chlorine in there?
Right.
That's the soapy water lubricant.
Yep.
Please send it back to the DC group. The soapy water lubricant is what we use to oil our lines because we can't use literal oil. All of that sweeps down into drains. So if there's any sort of spillage, it can go through there. But the foam that was on the floor, like, wasn't beer. That was the actual, like,
Cleaning.
Lubricant itself. So, yeah. It's very sanitary in there. It smells it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It does smell like a pool, like a hospital, something like that. Weirdly enough, though, we actually have what we call the clean room across the north packaging that is hospital style. It's entirely sterile in the center of it, and it's got like HEPA filters and stuff. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, that's not too far off from how we actually package here. That's the one where you're going to see droplets coming off because the top of the cans aren't sealed, like when they're being filled and such. So that's the moment that there might be spillage, but not often. The bigger spills that we have to worry about are chemical spills. Which also don't happen often, but when they do, everyone gets an email about it. Everyone gets an evacuate building 45. I'm like at home in bed at 20 a.m. I'm like, okay, whatever. Sure, you get something like, well, the other one we had last, like 2 nights ago or whatever was, there's a fire in the parking lot, please evacuate the parking lot, please click this email to acknowledge. Sure. What color was your wristband? It was blue, right? No, red. What
Red.
color you guys want? Light blue, dark blue? It doesn't matter. I just want to make
Dark.
an autonomous decision.
Dark blue.
Dark blue it is.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter. It's just I want you to feel included. You made a choice here. Half and half. It affected everyone. Half and half. Half and half.
I'm a woman, so I make decisive decisions right away.
That dark blue today, thank you. Alright guys, we got hams on tap, Killian's Irish Red if you've never had it. Blue Moon, anything you've had on tour already is there for you. Got some packaged products as well. Topo Chico.
Go. Did we ever have Topo Chico?
Out today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let's mark it here. There you go.
Sure, that's not a.
Oh, is that done?
We do that
regularly.
Yeah.
Oh, it's what's playing.
Oh, it's supposed to be honey.
Hams for me, please. Hams on it.
You have Topo Chico?
No, these are the only. Not weird,
But we can buy those.
Oh, I see.
These come with the sampling, so you can buy them.
Killian's. I'm going to try Killian's Red. I've never had it. All the other ones I have.
Good, how are you?
Good. Can I do a ham highlight? Sure.
All right. Thank you. I thought that you get snacks as well. Amazing. I'm gonna sit down for a minute. I'm tired. I'm tired, guys. So I got Killian Red. Steven got hams, I think. I'm not a dark beer drinker, but let's try and see if it tastes any good. It is red, right? It's really good, actually. It's not too overwhelming. It's not really dark or anything. I mean, I think it's pretty light, actually. Have you guys ever tried Killian Red? Tell me if you've ever tried it. What do you think? So I think our tour was about, I want to say $20. I'm not sure each. It was somewhere around there. They have them every day, every 7 days a week. You need to make reservations ahead of time. We wanted to do the tour yesterday, but they didn't have anything available. They had 2 tours left. Each one was only one person left, and when I asked if they could put us both in one, I'd buy one on each one of them and put us in one tour. They said no, that they only allow so many people in each tour. So if you want to take this Miller tour, then I suggest you make your reservations as soon as you know you want to come in here. It's in Milwaukee. It's a nice area. You saw it's a campus, so it's kind of cool. And it's around $20. You get lots of beer. I would say this is probably our 3rd or 4th drink. And we have another one coming. They have a little gift shop. I thought they give out snacks, but I guess not. And then we get a souvenir, and I'm not sure what the souvenir is. You guys want me to keep going until we get the souvenir so you can see what the souvenir is, or should I just get off? Give me a thumbs up. Right now I have 1, so if I get 2 thumbs up, then I'll know if I should stay on or if I should just get off. What do you think? Thumbs up if I should stay on. Oh, come on, guys. 1 thumbs up, and I'll stay on. Otherwise, we get off. Oh, you found some snacks. Yeah. And they might give out snacks. Who knows? I thought they were supposed to give snacks. No, it's alright. I just want a snack. I just want something. There you go. What you got? You got chocolate? Well, I should probably get off. You think I should get off? Or should I stay on?
You definitely get off me when I'm eating.
Yeah. You like that? Alright, I'm going to get off because we're just sitting here. We will see you soon. Anyway, you can tell I'm hot and tired. Drinks. We're going to go eat sushi here soon, so we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.